Hello friends, welcome back, and we continue with our topic of epidemics and the role that homeopathy has to play. This particular lesson will concentrate on a study that was conducted in India during a chikungunya epidemic a few years ago. This relates to an epidemic of chikungunya in the year 2007 in the state of Kerala. This is the map of India, and you can see that Kerala is on the west coast in the southernmost part of India. And this particular study was conducted in two districts, which are shown in the map. And it was a very robust study. It was a cluster randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial conducted in two districts of Kollam and Alappuzha, covering 3 villages during August and September 2007. The symptom complex has been described in the research paper, for which I will be giving a URL and a reference number at the end of this presentation. And the predominant symptoms in majority of the patients in the community were painful joints, which were worse by motion, especially during the night. There was a headache, which was described as bursting or throbbing, and once again that got worse from movement, especially during the night. The tongue was dry and was coated yellow. The mouth was also dry. There was thirst during a chill phase of the fever. Appetite was diminished, and the patients felt better after sweating. So you will notice a few key themes, and those things are dryness. Every pain or condition or complaint is worse by moving, and feeling better with perspiring, and worse during night. These symptoms were analyzed on a homeopathic software. If we do the analysis ourselves, we will find this particular symptom complex with the results as shown here. There are 8 rubrics or symptoms that have been used for analysis, and the remedy that appears to cover all the 8 symptoms and with the highest score is bryonia. Bryonia is a plant remedy, and one easy way to remember the effects of bryonia or applicability is bryonia and dryonia. Bryonia is always accompanied with dry states of the mouth, of the tongue, of the mucous membranes, and other places. So bryonia 30C was used as a prophylactic remedy during the epidemic crisis in 2 districts. The outcome was that there was a 19.7% risk reduction, almost 20% risk reduction. To examine the results more closely, the infected numbers were assessed on day 35 after the first dose was given. The sample size was of 34,000 people. They were in 2 arms. One was the control arm and the other one was the placebo arm. They were randomized from 167 clusters of populations residing in villages or different locations. The trial used the cluster design methodology. P less than or equal to 0.05 was considered significant. So all these are standard research, study, analysis methods. And as I mentioned earlier, there was a 19.7% relative risk reduction. If we were to compare this with the results of a flu vaccine that was developed and used in the chikungunya epidemics in 1997, 98, 99, and 2006, 2007, and 2008. As a comparison, we find that the average risk reduction was only 5.1%. So the vaccine was almost 1/4 as effective as the homeopathic intervention. For those of you who wish to explore, examine, and study these papers, you can go to these two links. The first one is the paper which is published in the Indian Journal of Research in Homeopathy, and the other one explains terms such as risk reduction, etc. So both these papers are interesting read and improve your knowledge. Those of you who wish to pursue this further can go to the website of the Government of India's Central Council for Research in Homeopathy, CCRH, and access this particular report. This is giving details about 17 different epidemics which have been managed either curatively or as a prophylactic during various times. So you can access it on the URL given below. So that brings me to the end of this particular lesson, and as we saw that homeopathy can prove quite effective in epidemics in a preventative role as a prophylactic. And you also saw an example as to how this analysis is done and how the remedy is found. Thank you very much for your attention, and we shall meet once again in the next lesson. So until then, bye bye.